Jackie.
I won this sweatshirt.
You've probably seen these public service announcements on Channel 2 for the McPerfect Attendance Program, but is the promise of free clothing enough to keep kids in school?
Like, students doesn't come to school, they're not gonna be successful in school.
The McPerfect contest has helped motivate Iman Abdallah to come to school every day, but being here has taught her how important school is.
That's gonna be me first too, then.
Iman is an 8th grader at Chincopen Middle School. She is one of a school full of remarkable kids who show up every day. On any given day, 91% of the student population is in school. The average for all middle schools in Baltimore City is 82%. And so far this year, 212 students at Chincopen haven't missed a day. Eric Saunders can top that. He's never missed a day of school from kindergarten on. There's some days you don't feel like it, and what does she say?
Go to school and just try to make it through the day.
You have to repeat it. You have to encourage them. You have to let them know that you really do care about the fact that they are in school. And then we have to do something very positive with them when they are here.
Also remember, your attendance record tells a lot about you. We need you here tomorrow if we are going to have another positive, prepared, and productive day. You know, a good Chincopen day.
At Chincopen Middle, Horace Holmes, Channel 2 News.
Tonight with trouble behind the pulpit for one of Baltimore's oldest African-American churches.
Tonight, the pastor and assistant pastor face charges of operating an illegal lottery. The Ebenezer AME Church and 12 houses were raided by police after members of the congregation tipped them off to what was allegedly going on. Channel 2's Sam Ringgold reports.
During the raid at Ebenezer AME Church, police say they found betting slips on the desk in Pastor Wendell Christopher's study. The attorney for Reverend Christopher calls the charges weak.
Our position is that he didn't do it, and he is not guilty, and the evidence that the police have is totally lacking in substance.
For 4 months, police looked into the allegations and used electronic equipment to log calls that came into the church.
Looking at the evidence yesterday, we're still trying to calculate just how big of an operation this was. However, we believe that it is a significant seizure, meaning quite a big-sized operation.
Police say gambling paraphernalia was found here at the home of Assistant Pastor Jerome Berry. Sources today told us that between 1978 and 1989, Berry was arrested numerous times for gambling charges. If there was an illegal lottery operated out of the church, Edward Smith says Reverend Christopher knew nothing about it.
That's the contention. In terms of the state proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the pastor had anything to do with it, I say to them, come on and get it on.
The trial is scheduled for March 16th. Sam Ringgold, Channel 2 News.
And there has been also, it was dark early this morning, but police say they could clearly see a gun in the hand of 23-year-old Stuart Randolph. During a foot chase, police ordered him to halt. Then police say he turned and pointed the gun at them. A police officer fired 6 times. Randolph died in the shooting. The gun found beside him was fully loaded, but had not been fired.
Well, as the suspect was running down the alley, he either threw down or dropped a handgun, which he picked up. Got to the base of the alley, turned, pointed the handgun at the police officer. Officer Laladas then fired 6 shots, striking the suspect 3 times.
If he had pointed the gun at the police, why he got shot from behind and not from the front?
Randolph's girlfriend, Clara Beverly, says that he was not carrying a loaded gun.
And the type of person that he is, with the attitude he got, if he would have had a gun, he would have fired it at the police. He wouldn't have just turned it around. You know, you see what I'm saying? If he would have had a gun, he would have shot it.
Police say Randolph was shot from the front as he faced police. Police say that he was chased into the alley after he had been identified as an armed robbery suspect. The case has now been turned over to the Internal Affairs Division and homicide detectives.
Well, just a few minutes ago on the Channel 2 News Hour at 5 o'clock, Baltimore Mayor Kurt Schmoke announced that city police will soon be switching guns, or handguns that is, to a semi-automatic 9mm. What they're doing is upgrading their system from the standard 6-shooter up to a more firepower-oriented.
Channel 2's Mark Vernarelli reports.
The 54th day of the new year, and Baltimore City records its 51st homicide. Her name is Judy Jones. She was 48. At about 5:20 this morning, Judy Jones was stabbed to death. Not over drugs or money, police say, but because of ongoing marital problems with her husband.
The family had recently broken up and the husband had left the house. The husband came back apparently this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I guess it's just the relationship that they have in families now. They're not stable as they used to be.
Last night, Rosalind Jackson babysat Judy Jones's 8-year-old daughter.
Well, I kept the little girl until about 10 o'clock.
No indication anything was wrong.
No, he came in and seemed cheerful as always.
This is the second murder in the 6800 block of McLean Boulevard this year. On January 2nd, just 2 doors away from today's crime, another woman was shot to death by her boyfriend. Neighbors here are still reeling. You're not scared to be around here, are you?
Oh, yeah, definitely, because, I mean, you never know what could happen to you also. You know, I mean, just me walking, because I have to walk him, you know, a lot of times, you know, during the evening and in the morning, and you don't know what could happen.
A grim scene these neighbors have now viewed twice in 5 weeks, one they hope they'll never have to see again. On McLean Boulevard in Northeast Baltimore, Mark Vernarelli, Channel 2 News.
Police still aren't sure if the wounded 25-year-old woman is the suspect's daughter or stepdaughter. Would it shock you to know murders in Maryland rose 21% last year? According to state police, there were 22 more killings in both Baltimore and Prince George's County in 1989 compared with 1988. The 3 areas reporting the highest number of murders include Baltimore County, which had 10 more murders in 1989. For all of Maryland, there were 543 killings last year compared to 450 in 1988. When other violent crimes are included, police note a 7% increase. Property crimes increase 3% on the law.
Well, Beverly, as you know, this new year is only 30 days old now, but already Baltimore City has recorded 26 murders. 29-year-old James Allen Smith was gunned down in East Baltimore late last night while standing next to his car on North Durham Street. Police say he was apparently robbed, then shot twice in the head. Police have no suspects at this time. And then early this morning, a 31-year-old city woman was found stabbed to death in her home. Bernice Meeks was found by a friend just after 2 in the morning. She lived in the 300 block of East 21st Street. Police say there was no sign of robbery, and investigators have questioned a suspect. If you have any information about either of these crimes, call the Metro Crime Stoppers. The hotline number is 276-8888. Remember, you can remain anonymous and also earn a cash reward of up to $1,000 for your help.
Right now, it's just a big hole, but in about 4 years, this hole will be the new terminus point for the Baltimore Metro. 2 football fields long and 70 feet deep in front of Johns Hopkins Hospital. From here, engineers will begin digging a tunnel 1.5 miles to downtown, which will connect the new line with the old. 1.5 miles at a cost of $321 million.
The underground part is by far the most expensive. It needs to be done here downtown. There was no alternative, and it's particularly expensive in that it's deep tunneling with undercompressed air. So that's what makes it expensive, but well worth the money.
Right now, this massive project is not only on time, it's actually under budget. One of the real engineering challenges of this project will be the crossing of the Jones Falls in downtown Baltimore. In fact, here at the Shot Tower Metro stations, the subway will actually be running beneath the Jones Falls.
We have to divert that water flow into an existing channel, reconstruct a new channel, and then redivert the water flow back 3 times.
Shopkeepers along Baltimore Street will be glad when this construction's finished.
It's slowed things down a lot, yeah. We see a lot less customer than we used to see.
When the dust finally settles, some of these beleaguered businesses may get some help from 10,000 passengers a day that are expected to ride this subway. In East Baltimore, Mark Vernarelli, Channel 2 News.
Everywhere, come on up.
State and city undercover officers teamed up on the late afternoon bus, which netted 10 ounces of cocaine, cash, and guns. State Police Narcotics Detective Tom Hedgel says that state and city officers made a potent team when they joined forces.
This particular case was a joint case that the city had a case open on it, the state had a case open on it. We got together, worked the details out, and here we are today.
One suspect is under arrest. Police are not releasing his name at this time.
And more.
Baltimore 1980, population 700,000 people. Baltimore 1990, what will the numbers add up to? A lot of federal funds and political clout will be based on the city's population. The city lost almost $200 million in federal funds because of an undercount in the 1980 census.
We have been working pretty hard to get ourselves organized for this census. I think everybody knows by now the cost to the city of being undercounted back in 1980. We lost hundreds of millions of dollars, and we can't afford to do that.
Baltimore City still has a lot at stake because there will be some redistricting because of within state distribution, migration of population.
The Census Bureau has opened up 2 offices in Baltimore, one in this downtown office building on Charles Street, and this one at Howard Street near Johns Hopkins University. But the locations of the 2 offices in Baltimore is something city officials have not been happy with. They say the offices are not in the neighborhoods where they're needed the most.
I think it was a mistake.
Former Congressman Perrin Mitchell, chairman of Baltimore's Complete Count Committee.
We've been promoting the census as trying to be out with the people. And to select those 2 offices was symbolically, it denied what we were trying to do.
Because of this, he says the city must be more aggressive in making sure the homeless and low-income residents are counted. They represented most of the undercount in 1980. The 1990 census means more than money for Baltimore City. If population trends continue, there is a chance the city could lose a House and Senate seat in Annapolis. Sam Ringgold, Channel 2 News.